Wrestling isn't real. It's basically soap opera for men. And something happened that we've never seen before in said type of drama. That is, someone used the pageantry of wrestling to try to delete another person, another man. Today, we'll tell you what's going on with Raja versus Psycho Stu. One of them Psycho, and it ain't Stu. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the channel that's on the loose. We're talking about a guy who's on the loose. Allegedly, the police have not yet caught the man they call Raja, who tried to end another man in front of an audience on television in the wrestling ring. It's insane. It's bizarre. It will change the sport forever. We've got the details. We'll explain what's going on. Click the like button, and here we go. All right, folks, we've got a shocking story for you today. We don't typically talk about wrestling, but it is a form of entertainment. And just like we'll talk about the NFL, when Disney tries to buy vast parts of the NFL and get control of it with ESPN and all this kind of stuff, or when we've got major companies like CBS, Paramount, Skydance making deals with the UFC, we'll cover this sort of thing. And in this case, this is a very graphic and shocking, frankly, thing that's happening. Raja Jackson, is that how we pronounce the man's name, Marvin?
Yeah, like the tiger.
Son of Rampage Jackson commits a brutal assault on a military veteran, pro wrestler, and Los Angeles investigating. What makes this such a story is that, Marvin, can I say that wrestling is not completely real in the same way that like UFC fighting is real or MMA is real? Okay.
Wrestling is predetermined. It is staged. It is a television show.
It's pageantry. It's drama. It's drama for dudes.
It's an entertainment show.
Okay. This guy used that fact to basically, I think he attempted to delete the dude. I mean, I really do think that he attempted to take him out completely, send him into the afterlife. And what's amazing about this is because of the way that wrestling works, people didn't step in as quickly as they would have in any other situation because they were kind of confused about what was going on. Okay, here's the story. The wrestling world is reeling after a violent assault at Knock X Pro wrestling event in Los Angeles. On August 23rd, Raja Jackson, the 25-year-old son of former UFC light heavyweight champion Quentin Rampage Jackson, stormed the ring and launched a sustained attack on Stuart Psycho Stu Smith, a U.S. Army veteran and independent pro wrestler. Here's the guy who did the attack. The Raja Jackson assault, captured on livestream, showed the young man striking Smith more than 20 times in the head. And it goes on to talk about how this whole thing was set up, where there was a little stunt that was held outside the building, and it didn't go exactly as right, but, there's a way to handle that. And this guy instead decided that he was just going to go in there and basically, I think, try to delete the guy. I'm going to play about 4 seconds of this. That's all we can play, folks.
Make sure you mute it.
It's absolutely brutal. We'll try to mute it. Here we go. We'll get it muted. All right, here we go, folks. About 4 or 5 seconds of it. You can see, boom, boom. The guy's knocked out, and he's just wailing on him. And the man allowed him to beat him in the head because it was supposed to be part of the act, but you're not supposed to actually deliver the blow. Well, he didn't just deliver the blow. He delivered blow after blow after blow after blow. The LAPD are now trying to find this Raja Jackson guy, and it's not. I mean, this guy's like a little minor celebrity. The wrestling world is responding to it in disgust. I don't know that this has ever happened before. There's fallout with the WWE. Marvin, walk us through. This is a crazy story. I've never seen anything like this, where the guy came out and used the mechanics of wrestling to try to kill somebody.
So there's a lot of fault to go around here. Most of the fault, 90% of the fault, is on Raja Jackson. It's not a situation that ever should have happened. So Raja Jackson he was streaming on Kick. Him and his father both have Kick streams, which is the fascinating thing about this, because you can actually watch him and his father reacting to these things in real time. So he goes to this independent pro wrestling show, this Knock X Pro Wrestling, which is owned by WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, who's the father of a couple of guys who are in WWE right now. So he goes there and he's in the back, and I guess Psycho Stu sees the camera and he decides to try to I guess maybe start something with the guy that they could maybe use. Apparently it was not planned. He hit him in the head with a beer can, And apparently in a way that didn't even hurt, because Raja Jackson says repeatedly that it didn't even hurt. Raja gets in his face. Everybody like gets in between them. Psycho Stu apologizes like 3 different times. So then Raja Jackson's friend says to him, hey, man, I worked it out. During his match, you can get in the ring and just give him a receipt. Give him a receipt. So in wrestling, if you make a mistake or you tag somebody for real, they give you what's called a receipt. Now, normally, that's maybe a really stiff chop to the chest, maybe a hard forearm, something to be like, hey, you messed up and here's you're getting it back. What happens then is Raja Jackson, not a trained fighter or not a trained pro wrestler, gets in the ring, takes the guy down, probably knocks him out with the first punch, and then proceeds to deliver 22 unprotected downward punches to the man's head and face. Breaking his teeth, breaking his face. I mean, just nearly ending him. They couldn't wake him up at first. So this is a guy who, look, is Psycho Stu probably an idiot? Yeah, because that beer can thing was dumb. But then the thing is, like, because of it's on the stream, you see Raja Jackson saying, oh, it didn't even hurt, man. It didn't even hurt. And then you see him reading the comments. And this is the fascinating part, because the comments were all like basically calling him out as, oh, you got beat out. You got, blah, blah, blah. And you see him getting angrier and angrier and angrier as it comes time to do his spot. And he starts saying things like, it's always been my, one of my goals to beat up a pro wrestler or something like that. And you just see it. And then at one point his father calls him and he's like, oh yeah, so you got punked out, with a beer can. So his father feeds into it. Is that why his father is getting involved in this and saying that he's okay? Tell the people about that too. Yeah, so his father, there's actually on Rampage Jackson's stream, you actually see him. One of the pictures that we have in the article is Rampage Jackson watching this live. Like somebody was like, hey man, you need to see what your kid just did. And he opens the phone and you see him watch it and you just watch the life drain from his face when he realizes what just happened. And so he put out a statement that Psycho Stu is okay. He was sitting up in bed. Apparently that was all a little bit of wishful thinking. Apparently he is awake, but he's still in very critical condition. And he's like, I'm not going to make excuses for my son and his actions, but he did have a concussion. And I'm just like, okay, I'm tired of the concussion excuse for attempted murder, because a concussion, that darkness has got to be there. I've had concussions in the past through athletics, and I've never tried to delete somebody. So I think this kid, Raja, I mean, he's a man, but I mean, clearly has the temper of a 5-year-old, but he has a full blown man's body. And I think he should probably be in jail for at least 30 years, maybe life. I mean, I think this guy, if the Psycho Stu guy actually lives through this, and my gosh, if he lives and he's actually capable of living a quality of life, then it's miraculous after what he went through. Folks, we can't play it. It's too violent. It's too awful. He is unconscious, and this guy hits him with every power he can 20 times before the stunned wrestlers all around him figure out they got to jump in and stop this. They should have known a lot faster than they knew. I agree. Those wrestlers, there was a major, they should have been on him. If that had been most other professional pro wrestling places out there, the second he threw that second punch, they would have been on him and he would have been getting tagged, because usually wrestlers take care of their own. I don't know what happened here. I think they're afraid of him. That's what I got. And he's a celebrity, so that's all I can tell you. It looked to me like they were afraid of the guy. That they kind of get in there. Like one guy gets in, and he's like tepid, and finally somebody. And even when it's time, they kind of push him into the corner. But this is the first time I can ever remember seeing the mechanics of wrestling. And I think it will change wrestling probably forever. They're going to have somebody now who's ready to go if somebody tries to use the mechanics of wrestling to delete somebody. Well, there's going to be somebody on watch. He was not a wrestler. This is not something he should have ever been involved in. They put him in there as just like a goof almost, and it turned horrifically tragic. Now, NockX Pro has tried to distance himself from this, but now they had a deal with the WWE. They were a WWE ID program wrestling school, which means that they had an affiliation with WWE. They could feed talent to them. It was kind of like a minor league system. That's gone now. WWE has completely taken their branding off of everything to do with NockX Pro Wrestling. So there's major repercussions in the wrestling business about this. Yeah, and this comes on the heels of, I guess, big time connections now. WWE is with who, Marvin? Who's going to be carrying WWE? ESPN.
Right. So the ESPN deal. So there's an example of why WWE doesn't want any connection to this. This is awful. I hope, have they found this guy yet? Has he been arrested yet?
Not that I've seen yet. I've been checking.
So he's gone into hiding.
I don't know if he's hiding or if they just haven't brought charges against him yet. I mean, it's California, so they might end up arresting Psycho Stu.
Well, that's there's a good point. And in the UK, we see some of the same kind of things. You know, I saw that there was a little girl who defended herself with a kitchen item in the UK, and she got charged with defending herself from some. Anyway, this is a bad situation.
I'm willing to bet that within the next week, someone is going to, I'm sure they're already searching through every promo that Psycho Stu has ever cut in his life. They're going to look for him to say something even vaguely racial.
Oh,
and they're going to hold that up. That's going to suddenly be everywhere to try to demonize him to keep this kid out of jail. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Ron, your thoughts on just how horrific this is. And I mean, this guy and the fact that it happened in front of a full-blown audience, it really speaks to also, I think, something that's kind of sad. This didn't have to happen. As Marvin said, the audience, the other wrestlers, this was permitted longer than it should have happened. This was almost, the words that we need to use, but we can't hear. This was almost a deletion in public fashion with everybody watching.
My mind is a little bit blown by this, and I'm thinking of other sports where there is maybe a possibility of this type of thing happening. Ice hockey, for example. But see, the other sports you've got padding on, right? Ice hockey, you have padding. Football, you have padding. You don't really see breakouts like this in baseball or anything like that. But this guy took advantage of a situation where the other person was unprotected and down, and also there's a certain expectation. You know, the professional wrestling is entertainment where things are typically planned out beforehand. There are sometimes blows that, do take wrestlers by surprise, or accidents happen or whatever. This is not that. This is a deliberate attack. And it's kind of frightening to think about. If you are, you look at the number of wrestlers, you've got The Rock, you've got John Cena, you've got those wrestlers who take this platform and elevate their own celebrity through it, become actors and move on to other things. And this damages all of that, that possibility that, maybe that is somebody's thinking of, hey, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm getting into, if I want to make it into acting, I can go into wrestling. How scared are you now to take that pathway? How this is like, there's so many different possibilities of entertainment that this can negatively affect. This guy needs to be investigated, probably needs to go to prison for attempted deletion, but we don't even know yet if it's going to be attempted or if this other person's not going to survive, and that is scary.
We don't even know, apparently, if he's going to be charged, which is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
I'm looking right now to see if he's been arrested. I don't see anything about him being arrested. Mark Henry, a WWE guy, is already being like, well, Psycho Stu deserves some blame for this too. No, he did a stupid thing. He should have gotten smacked in the mouth. He should have gotten kicked in the pills or chopped in the chest or something like that.
Who's defending this? Who's defending somebody being absolutely brutalized unconsciously for 20 seconds?
WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry is saying something about, I haven't read the full article yet, but I just saw okay, it looks like he just says you have to be careful of who you're messing with and what kind of example you as a veteran are doing for inciting a riot with a kid. That's ridiculous, Mark Henry.
What a stupid take.
Usually I like Mark Henry, but that's a really dumb take.
Blaming the victim.
Yeah. I'm not finding anything yet about him being arrested or anything like that.
So, and listen, let's be careful how we say this. If things were reversed, what would be happening today in the news everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What would be happening with the cops right now? What would be said about, like, is Trumpism creating this, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's how anybody should respond to this situation, but I'm just saying if you reverse some things, this is the story that would be engulfing the entire nation, and the reaction would be completely different. That fair, Jonas?
Oh, I think absolutely. This is one of the things, and there are people just wandering around looking for that narrative wherever they can find it. So, this is not the kind of thing that usually appeals to me. I mean, my favorite form of boxing is on the NES. So,
well, you're into that old the gentleman's boxing, right? Where they say, "Yes, hey, you've disrupted my reputation."
Where they curl their hands about as much as they've curled their mustache. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. And they do it on penny farthings, from what I understand.
So one of the wrestlers that was involved in the pull apart, I'm just seeing this now. He is saying that people at the school are being encouraged by Knox Pro Wrestling to not cooperate with the police.
Oh my gosh. Do you have that?
That is a bad idea.
I do. I'll send it.
Get that up on the screen right now. That is ridiculous. We'll get that. That is just breaking to me as well. I've not seen that. That'll have to be an article. Listen, this is ridiculous. And again, if things were changed, I'm not trying to make this into a racial situation whatsoever. I'm simply noting that the other side would. They would take advantage of this societally. Erika, your thoughts on this brutalization as we get ready to bring up this quote that apparently there's encouragement not to participate in police investigations, even a place like California.
It's inhumane, and I think he should be held accountable and do time.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
Almost as much time as Culture did that time. Culture's never done time. He's never done time.
It's in the private chat now, Pro.
Okay, let's get this up on the screen. Culture, if you could weigh in, we'll put this up for everybody to see. Let's see what we've got here. Folks, this is breaking, so apologies if there's anything in here that... here's what it says from SB Nation. Wrestlers accuse Knock X of cover-up in Raja Jackson incident. They're encouraging not to cooperate with the police. This is by Ryan Harkness. This came out at 7:47 a.m. Eastern Time. Yahoo News has this one. It's been 2.5 days since Raja Jackson nearly beat pro wrestler Psycho Stu to death on a live kick stream, and the LAPD still have not arrested him or charged him. What's the holdup? News came out on Sunday night that the LAPD were investigating the case, and those on scene at the Knock X event where the incident happened say police showed up 15 minutes after the brutal assault. It may have to do with Knock X management attempting to keep a lid on the situation. That's not going to be a sufficient excuse. Wrestler Doug Mallow, a.k.a. The Epic, who I think, Marvin, are we right on this? He was like the only guy who literally leaped in to save the man's life. Marvin, are you there?
Look, Marvin may have disappeared. But let's look at it this way. Under normal circumstances, and you already did the what if the roles were reversed conversation. I'm not even going to dive in that far. The situation is, what if this other guy didn't step in? How far would this have gone? There was no intention, or obviously any intent on the on this Raja Jackson's part to stop. He wouldn't have stopped. That we would have had a deletion on live television. That's not good. It's not good for anything. The clips that I've seen of this are absolutely brutal. This type of behavior is, unacceptable. And, Erika's not wrong. This should have a lengthy jail term tied to it. There's a level of responsibility you take in any profession you take, and you should be responsible for, these types of situations. So, the fact that the police in Los Angeles, which are terrible, and they're governed entirely by wokeism and DEI and a bunch of other terrible things, and their fire department the same, you're going to get these kinds of results. And look, if you work in any professional sport, are you going to want to work in LA now with no definitive action being taken at this point? I mean, maybe they're waiting for the guy to expire. That it doesn't mean you can't charge him and upgrade the charges later.
Let's read this real quick, Culture. I'm just seeing this. They put the messages on the screen from somebody named Kevin Thomas. It says, please refrain from engaging in... Oh my gosh, I can't believe anybody would be so stupid as to send this message. Yeah. Please refrain, not this one, it'll be the second one. Please refrain from engaging in comment sections on social media posts about this tragedy. It will be weaponized in potential criminal and civil cases. Fly low. Well, they're going to want to know who put the hearts and the 100 on that. Then Kevin Thomas, allegedly, things can be doctored, so we're just reading this as we see it, folks. Kevin Thomas says, if law enforcement or an attorney for the suspect contacts you in any capacity, let someone here know right away for guidance on how to address them. No. If law enforcement contacts you about an attempted deletion, you should not contact anybody else other than your own attorney. Wow. And to put that in writing. You know, I guess in California you can do these kinds of things. Panel, I'll give you final thoughts on this one. This is going to be something we have to look at more and more now because it's going to grow and grow. This is corruption. I'm not going to say where the corruption is coming from, but somewhere, somehow, this is corruption. And thank goodness for the era in which we live where all of this stuff gets recorded.
This is the wrestling business. This is 100% the wrestling business. It's just we deal with everything in house. We don't go outside. It's a brotherhood. We take care of our own and blah blah blah. Like it's all that. There were situations where wrestlers have been stabbed to death in the locker room, and no one was ever arrested, despite the fact that everyone saw what happened. So this is the wrestling business has been sanitized in a lot of ways and has been cleaned up and made to look pristine by the WWE and its more corporate approach. However, at the core of it, it is still this. It is still a secret society that protects its own and has a very us versus them mentality. So when I saw that they were encouraging them not to talk to the police, I didn't even blink. Like that's 100% the wrestling business, and especially in the Wild West down in the Indies.
Well, good luck with the attorneys when they get a hold of that and put that out there. Good luck.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore.
That.
It doesn't work in 2025.
No. Put this baby to bed. This video is over. Turn off the lights, but not quite yet, folks, because we do ask one final thing before we say goodbye, and that is, would you consider clicking the like button? Share, subscribe, click it and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Also greatly appreciated, anytime you would like to share this out on your favorite social media platforms, well, we would love that. And we'd also love to hear your thoughts. Folks, drop a comment down below and use that beautiful mind of yours. If you would not mind, we'd love to know what you're thinking. Also, if you would like to become a member of the channel, it's as simple as clicking the join button. It is the price of a soda per month, and you'll gain access to all kinds of new, cool, exclusive information. Folks, until the next time, we have the honor of spending time with you. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
So I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.